So you want to take a you want to take a MagicaVoxel? I should have just did this again. Hey guys, welcome back TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back in MagicaVoxel, taking a look at how to take a model from MagicaVoxel and import it into Blender and rig it. So I'm gonna go ahead and first off open up a riggable thing. So we have a lot of characters that MagicaVoxel comes with. We're gonna open up the let's see what's a good one. Ooh, I have an idea. We'll take one of these and modify it a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna take this girl right here. I'm gonna get rid of this axe out of her hand. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. I'm just gonna get rid of those voxels. So erase all that there, right? And I'm gonna just take her arms, and I'm just gonna take all these pieces of hair too. I'm gonna take her arms, and I'll put her arms straight on out. They're gonna come straight on out, so that's good, right? All that hair's gone. Yeah, it looks like we are good to go right there. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna take her arms and grab that arm color, which was something like that. And I'll just go ahead and I'll just attach those voxels straight on out. So we're gonna build their arms straight on out, just like that. So it's much easier to rig, because you don't want bent arms. That's going to make everything weird once you rig it. So there we go. We have that, and then maybe I'll just, because that color maybe, and then we'll just paint a little bit of that on there just for some different skin toniness. That's not a good color. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. All right, so that was good for her arms. I'm going to go ahead and go back. Now we look pretty good. We're going to go over here. We're going to go right there, hit OBJ. We're going to just pick a place for it to export to. Then we can import it into Blender. Alright guys, so we're here in Blender now. I'm going to go ahead and go up to File, and we'll go to Import, and we'll choose OBJ. Now that we're here in our file, you can see that I've located our night girl, and what we're going to have here is we have 3 different files. The third one is not showing up. The third one should be a picture file. It should be the materials and textures. It should be just like a thin strip. Don't worry about that. We also have an MTL here, which we're not going to worry about, because we're just going to open up the OBJ here. We're going to import OBJ, and now you can see we have our OBJ. Let's get rid of default cube. Sorry, default cube, bye. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this girl. Making an S to scale this on down. And now you can see this is the coolest. We have the model here, but if I were to go to render viewport shading, you can see that if I remove this lamp over, you can also see we have those textures just like I said, because we have that right here. It's called palette. So as long as your file, as long as you keep all 3 of those files together, the material will work. Alright, so now that we have our model in Blender, we're going to go ahead and hit Shift A and add in an Armature single bone. And I'm going to go ahead and go to this tab right here, which is the Armature Object Data tab. We're going to go ahead and make sure Display is open and hit In Front. We're going to go ahead and hit Shift, GZ, sorry. We're going to move this first bone up about right there, so that this little ball is right on the edge right there. And then we'll select this ball by going into Edit Mode, hitting Tab. GZ, and move it about right there, right under her chin. Then we'll hit Shift A once again. GZ, moving on up. RY 90 to rotate it 90 degrees on the Y axis, or the X axis, but there's only 2 degrees here. We're gonna go ahead and move that over as well. Hit GX to move that over. GX to move that over. Here we go. And then we'll select this bone right here in the middle. Armature, subdivide. We'll select both of these by holding down Shift, hit Shift D, X to move them over, and RZ 180, and then we'll move them to where they need to be, which is about right there. The same thing for this down here. Shift D to duplicate these, put that bone right about there. RY 90 negative sign, so the minus sign on your numpad. G to move this over, put that bottom ball down at the bottom of her foot, and then grab this one. GZ, grab this little piece, split it about in half, select both of these, hold down Shift, Shift D, X, move it over, about right there, and we're looking good. Alright, so last thing we got to do is select this ball up here, hit EZ, move it up to about half of right there. Now we have all the bones that we need. We can hit Tab to go back out of edit mode, hold down Shift, select our mesh, hold down Shift, select our bones again, Control P, set parent to with automatic weights. Now if we select our bones, go to object data, change it to pose mode, select one of the bones and rotate it. You can see we have a weight painting. There's a little bit of problems though, so we got to do a little bit of fixing with the weight paint. You can see that this arm works pretty much fine, but this one's kind of strange. You see how it kind of bends like that? It's a little bit strange, which means that there's usually other weight painting affecting that specific bone. So we'll go ahead and go to our mesh and go to Object Data, Weight Painting. Now you can see we have a couple of problems. Here. I want to go ahead and make sure that we have the correct bone selected. So we'll So we'll select. Let's see. We'll grab this bone right here, which is, what's the name of this bone? Bone number 2002. We'll just go ahead and we'll fix up the weight painting for all of these bones here. So on bone 1, this is the base of the bone. So this over here we can select the different vertex groups. You can see. So bone is the torso. It's her torso. So we'll go ahead and we'll see if I can turn show whole transparent scene on, and then we'll go ahead and just no, we need to add yeah, that's right. We'll go ahead and add some weight painting in some areas, you know, just all along the torso here. We don't want to overdo it though. So in the back as well. There we go. We don't want to overdo it though. Still want a little bit of fall off on there. And then bone 9, which obviously is the top of the head up here. Go ahead and color more of that in, right? So that we have pretty much the whole head. Bone 1 is obviously this guy right here. I want to get rid of the weight painting on this part of the arm. So we'll go from add to subtract. Subtract all this because I don't want it to be influenced. We need some weight painting there because not bending right. There we go. That looks good, and we go back to object mode, select the bones, go to pose mode, and now you can see the arm bends much better. There we go. So now you might want to get rid of some of this weight painting right here on the hair, on the side of her. We can do that. You can repeat this entire process for the rest of the rig, which I'm not going to do today because that's going to take way too long. But you get the process by now. It's the same thing as this, going ahead and just making sure there's no weight painting on anything else that shouldn't be moving. So if there's weight painting, if you're looking at the arm bone, then you should not be having weight painting on her legs or her back or anything like that. So we just need that weight painting where it's supposed to go, which is her arm. We don't need it down here at all either, or in there. Yeah, there we go. So that looks much better. I think we can get away with having that green right there because we don't want it to just like fully stop. We want there to be a little smoothing. So we'll go ahead and go back to object mode, select the bones, pose mode, move that arm. Oop, we have a little bit of weight painting up at the top there. You can see her head moving. So if we rotate the arm and then go ahead and go, so sometimes you cannot see the weight painting. There's a little weird stuff that goes on. So we'll go back to object mode with her arm still moved to that position so we can see where it is because it's deforming it. We can go to weight paint mode, and you can see right there that we did have a little bit of a faint coloring in there. You see that right there? So if we get rid of all that, then the weight painting will go back to where it's supposed to be, which is what we need. So that looks much better. If we go back to object mode, you can see now it is fixed. Select the bones, go to pose mode, and you can see now that moves. But the back of her head does move. So this is a really good process and a really good way to try and fix stuff. You know, move one of the pieces and see what moves along with it, and then you can go ahead and go through and fix it. But once you're done with all of that, you should definitely have a rig that works very well and very properly and is just like really adorable. So we'll go ahead and pose her up really quickly, even though the weight painting is going to be a little off and finicky, but that is fine because I didn't go through and do the rest of it, but that's cool. So maybe we'll just do like a pose like this and rotate her arm out a little bit like that. Move it up. Yeah, look at the weight painting just messing. This is why we want to go ahead and do a lot more weight painting than what we did, because it's just all kinds of messed up. But yeah, I'm not going to do that for this video. Like I said, it'll take way too long, but you guys get the idea. You can also break this torso in two and have her torso be able to bend in another location, which is totally fine. So we have an adorable weight painting MagicaVoxel rig here. Yeah, that is going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, bye-bye.